Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Virtual College Fair for all Virginia students, sponsored by the Virginia Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Counselors and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. And this is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at strivescan.com/Virginia. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, strivescan.com/Virginia. And here is our schedule for this evening. We are here in session B1, so I will go ahead and turn it over to our first school, Coastal Carolina University.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining me today. My name is Cameron Gonzalez. I'm the Senior Admissions Counselor here at Coastal Carolina University. I'm also an alum of Coastal. I got my degree in 2016 in Communication, minored in Marketing. Quick facts about Coastal. We were founded in 1954 and we became a public university in 1993. We are located in Conway, South Carolina, but unless you are from South Carolina, no one knows where that is, so we just say Myrtle Beach, and Myrtle Beach is only 9 miles away. Our colors are teal, black, and bronze, teal representing the ocean and bronze representing the sand, and our mascot is Chauncey the Chanticleer, which arrives from Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, and we are the only literary mascot in the entire nation. Here at Coastal, we have just over 10,000 students on campus with 5 academic colleges and over 90 different programs to study to choose from. We have 2 doctorates as well in education as well as marine science. Some popular undergraduate majors that we have, though, is marine science, communication, management, marketing, exercise, sports science, intelligence and national security, just to name a few. We also have a 16:1 student faculty ratio, so we have no lecture halls whatsoever. It's strictly going to be classroom based. The most you'll see in a classroom is maybe 20-25 students, and as you focus on your major, those class sizes will get a lot smaller. And 79% of our faculty members do possess a doctoral or a terminal degree, which is the highest level education one can attain, so you can feel good knowing that the people who are teaching you this stuff have the accreditation and the education to back up what they're teaching. Also, all of our faculty members are required to have an open door policy, so if you're ever struggling in a class or need assistance on a homework assignment, you can go to them during their office hours. Here at Coastal, we have over 120 clubs and organizations, everything from Greek life, faith-based, SGA, club sports, you name it, more than likely we have it. We have clubs and organizations that focus on career paths. We also have clubs and organizations that focus on the recreation side of it. So, for example, we have a sea turtle club, we have a Quidditch team, we have a hammock club, just to name a few. And if out of all of our clubs and organizations there's nothing you're interested in, you can start your own. You just need 7 other individuals to join in with you. Here at Coastal, we are Division 1. We have 19 sports teams, and we compete in the Sun Belt Conference, with the exception of women's lacrosse. They compete in the Atlantic Sun Conference, but we do have a lot of great titles that have come out of our program. We went to the NCAA tournament for men's basketball in 2013-2014, the playoffs when we were originally in Big South for football, from 2012 to 2016, and our football stadium just went through renovations to hold over 20,000 people. So our football stadium has expanded, and yes, we do have a teal turf. But the #1 sport most people remember us for is the fact that we won the College World Series in 2016. We were the underdogs. We came out on top. No one thought we would make it as far as we did, but we proved them wrong. And a fun fact is that out of all the teams that participated in the College World Series in 2016, we had the highest GPA. Teal Nation really comes from all over. 49% of our students are in-state, 49% are out-of-state, and 2% are international, with Virginia being the 3rd most popular state. We receive just over 15,000 applications each year, with about 13,000 of them being for the freshman class. And as you see on the map, the darker teal is where we get the most applications from, so up and down I-95. Freshmen, you are allowed to bring vehicles to campus. Your parking pass is only $75 for the entire year. Otherwise, if you don't want to bring a vehicle, carpooling is going to be your best friend. But we do have shuttles that will take you to and from our local Walmart, as well as Amtrak, Greyhound, and Myrtle Beach International Airport. Keep in mind on the screen right here, this is just our middle 50% range. This is not our minimum, but this is what we're looking for our students to come in the ballpark range. So GPA a 3.2 to a 4.0, ACT 19 to 24, and SAT 1020 to an 1150. Now, something new this year that we are very excited about is we are going test optional. Before COVID even happened, we were already planning on this. So GPA, in order to be test optional, has to be a 3.5 GPA, weighted or unweighted, whichever better fits you. And we're looking for a rigorous college prep programs. We want to see that you're taking honors, APs, dual enrollments. You're taking classes that are challenging yourself and getting ready for college. So if you've taken 2 PEs every single year since freshman year, that doesn't necessarily tell us how you are academically, but if you have taken a more advanced classes, that's what we are looking for. Now, there are 3 majors in particular that require you to take the test regardless of your GPA, and that is marine science, intelligence and national security, and our 2+2 nursing program. We also look for 20 core requirements coming to Coastal. So 4 years of English, 4 years of math, 3 lab sciences, 3 histories, 1 fine art, 1 PE, 2 foreign languages, and 2 academic electives. We do understand in the state of Virginia that you may receive a standard diploma or an advanced diploma, and a standard diploma typically means, for example, 3 math. So if you only have the 3 math, I am the admissions counselor for the state of Virginia, so I'll be more than happy to work with you, and I will review your file based off of the diploma that you are receiving. So don't fret, that does not mean it disqualifies your application if you don't have all of those core requirements. And we have some priority deadlines, December 1st being automatic consideration for merit awards. And there's 2 ways to apply. We are part of the Common App this year and our own institutional application at coastal.edu/apply. We are not early action. We are not early decision. We are rolling admission and nothing is binding. So once we have a completed file for you, we can get you a decision in less than 3 weeks. So your high school transcript, your application, and the test scores, possibly, that is all we require. We don't need letters of recommendation or an essay, but if you want to submit them, I do strongly encourage you to do so. The cost up there is tuition in-state and out-of-state, and I show you both of them because here at Coastal, we have what's called Academic Common Market with Virginia, which is a tuition savings-based program which allows you to pay the in-state tuition for a specific major for coming an out-of-state student. So in order to qualify for ACM, you must major in either marine science, intelligence and national security, or middle-level education. So that total at the bottom will fluctuate based off of your preference, as well as the housing and the meal plan. Those are the most expensive options to choose from. And merit awards is awarded money that we give you based off of how you did in school. So those are going to range from 15% to 60%. And as long as you maintain the requirements every single year, this is renewable every single year. We even have individual merit awards for the visual and performing arts. And we also have individual merit awards for PGA golf management. I forgot to mention that, but we are one of 18 schools in the entire nation to offer a PGA golf management certification program. That is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining. Please feel free to drop any questions in the Q&A box. I'll be more than happy to assist you and answer any in-depth questions that you may have.
Great, thank you. And next up, we'll hear from the University of Alabama.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Dugas, and I am the University of Alabama's regional recruiter for Virginia. I live and work out of my house in Charlottesville, so I telecommuted before it was cool. But I will be your admissions counselor. If you do choose to apply, you'll get several emails from me, many of which I do not send. But if you write me back, then I will reply to you. That will be actually from me. So starting with just a couple of basics about the university, we are in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We are not in Birmingham or Huntsville. Those are actually 2 entirely separate schools. You can see Tuscaloosa is a very vibrant middle-sized city, a little bit bigger than Charlottesville. We have a vibrant downtown, some tall buildings, lots of nightlife, a vibrant art scene, places to go out, places for your parents to stay when they visit you. We have a federal courthouse and a river as well, which serves as the north border of campus and the basis for our river walk. We have over 32,000 undergraduate students on our campus, and the majority of our students are from out of state. So almost 60% from out of state. And you can see that Virginia is one of the top 10 states that we have students from. And we don't have an in-state preference in admissions. So it's the same admission standards, whether you're in or out of state. So for admissions, our average GPA is about a 3.8, but generally if you have about a 3.0, you're fine for admission. There's no absolutes. Our average test scores are a 1270 SAT and a 27 ACT. Those are not super scored, but this year we are test optional. In our case, we did just go test optional because of COVID, but we're hoping to continue that. I'm on the committee that's working on that, so I hopefully will have a good announcement about that soon. But we just don't know quite yet for 2022. But as of 2021, no test scores required for admission or scholarships. You won't be disadvantaged for not sending them. And we always rank in the top 5 nationally for national merit enrollment. This is our list of majors. You can see that it's pretty extensive. We also have several other concentrations that are not listed. They are all strong. We're an R1 research university, so they all have undergraduate research opportunities. You can double major. You can also design your own major. You can double minor. No one ever asked about that, but I did that. And of course, we have all the pre-programs, and we do get into graduate and professional school at higher than the average national rates. We also have an honors college. So if you do have a 3.5 and a 1360 or a 30, you are admissible to the honors college coming out of high school. I expect that the honors college is going to make a test optional announcement within the next week or so. They're working on that right now, so expect to hear an announcement there. But you can always be admitted after one semester at the university as long as you get a 3.5 in that semester. And there are 9 distinct specialized programs within the honors college in addition to the general programs, things geared towards pre-med students, liberal arts students, getting an MBA in 5 years, getting a master's in your field in 5 years, and other things, leadership, service, stuff like that. As for campus life, of course, being as large as we are, it is quite vibrant. We have between 600 and 700 student organizations. They are very active on campus. We also have the #1 Greek system in the entire country. So they are just a third of our population. So not something that you have to do in order to have a social life, but if that's something you're interested in, then we have more ways to get involved there than any other college in the nation. We have some of the nicest recreation facilities in the country, and we rank #2 in the country for internship placement as well. And a fun fact about this slide, that Starbucks pic there at the bottom, that's the largest Starbucks on any college campus in the country. As far as housing, we guarantee it for all of our freshmen. Most of our freshmen live in a 4-bedroom suite, which is essentially a 4-bedroom apartment. You get your own bedroom, you share a bath with one other person, kitchen and a living room with 3 other people. We are Division I for athletics. We are known as the Crimson Tide. We're only playing to about 20,000 fans this year, but students do still get to go to the games, just on a reduced basis. They don't get to go to all the games as they normally would. But for other sports, you don't have to have a ticket, so you can still get into those just by scanning your phone. And we do say Roll Tide all the time. That's a large part of our school spirit. We are ranked in most of our sports most of the time, and currently #2 in football. As for the admissions process, it's rolling admissions, so it is not binding. This year we use our own application. Next year we'll also accept the Common App, and all we need is your application fee or a fee waiver and your high school transcript. We will not look at letters of recommendation or essays for admission, and you can send SAT or ACT scores if you choose, but you won't be penalized in admissions or scholarships for not sending them. And the priority deadline is December 15th for full scholarship consideration. This is our standard merit scholarships chart. This is if you have a test score and your test score falls onto this chart. These are automatic. If you have the numbers, you automatically get the scholarship. The test scores aren't super scored, but the GPA is weighted. And then this is what I'm most excited about. This is our new competitive scholarship chart. So this is for students who either don't have test scores or whose test scores don't put them onto the other chart. And I'm really proud of this because a lot of schools that have gone test optional haven't gone for scholarships, but we did. And so this one uses your core GPA, which is math, science, English, social studies, and world language. And if you fall into this chart for core GPA, your scholarship application, which is your extracurriculars, leadership, community service, what you've overcome, your employment, honors, achievements, that goes in the scholarship application. They will rank the scholarship applications and award scholarships accordingly. The two charts don't stack, so if you get only one, you would only get the higher award, but you would get the higher one. Finally, this is my contact information. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, or if you'd like to download our view book, those are the 2 links, the top one to get it mailed to you, the second one to view it online. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So next up, we'll hear from Radford University.
Hi, everyone. So glad that you could be here today. My name is Sean Ficcadeni. I am the admissions counselor for Radford University. This is all my contact information. Please feel free to text, email, messenger, hawk, whatever form or fashion you want to get in contact with me after today. Please feel free. My colleague Jared is also in the chat monitoring your questions, so please feel free to shoot those down there. So just to get us started, Radford University is one of the only public mid-sized schools in the state of Virginia, so not too big, not too small, just perfectly in the middle, with our total enrollment being around 9,400 students, and we are located in Southwest Virginia. So if you want to go to a Division I school with all the hype, the accolades, the sporting events, basically everything and anything that you could ever hope and dream for, but don't want to be surrounded by 20,000 other students, have to take a bus to class or cross a highway to get to class or any of those things, then I think Radford's going to be a really solid fit for you. We are a co-ed school, and we really like to highlight that a third of our entire student population are first generation. If you don't know what that means, it means you are the first person in your family to go to college. So I think a third of our entire population being first gen really says that we have all of the tools and resources and support to really showcase what you can do throughout your college experience, as well as set yourself up for a solid career path after graduating. All right, so diving into academic programs, obviously I can't go into detail about every single major that we have on campus, so please feel free to go to our website to check those out. But just starting out, our average class size is in the mid-20s, and it's not going to get much larger than that. It will get smaller as you get further into your degree program. Also, depending on the program itself, there can be classes as small as 3. Personally, my smallest class is an alum. I don't even know if I mentioned that. I'm an alum. Hi. My smallest class is about 17. Student to faculty ratio, basically what we like to showcase with that is how much access you're going to have to your professors, both inside and outside of the classroom. And that's going to be in their office hours, in class. And there's so many people that are going to tell you to really go to make the attempt to go meet your professor. I'm an introvert, as shocking as that may sound. And I didn't have to do anything to make a relationship with my professor. And being a couple years out of college, I still have very solid relationships with them now. All right, this was the quick slide of all of our majors and programs, so feel free to take a picture of it if you'd like. And then diving into our campus life and resources. So the main resource I really like to highlight on the left side there is our Center for Diversity and Inclusion, or the CDI. They house all of our multicultural and religiously diverse organizations on campus, as well as the LGBTQ+ community on campus. As a student, that was the organization that I founded. So if you have any questions about our queer and trans community, specifically at Radford, please feel free to reach out to me directly. I also like to highlight the Harvey Knowledge Center, or the HKC. That is where you can get free tutoring from another student on campus should you ever need it. On the right-hand side there, obviously I mentioned in the beginning, we are a Division I school, and you can go to any home game completely free as a student. We have over 300 clubs and organizations on campus, so I'm gonna be really surprised if you can't find something to get involved in. It would be a miracle, and honestly, having that many clubs for a school of our size is pretty substantial. When it comes to on-campus housing, we have 15 different residence halls. There are only 2 styles available across campus, suite and en-suite. So suite style is 2 bedrooms and then a bathroom connects the 2. And then standard is just the bedroom and the bathroom, similarly to how a hotel functions. So you are not going to share a bathroom with an entire hall or dorm of people. If you want to get involved in a living learning community, or an LLC, which is a residence hall dedicated to a specific program on campus, which means that you have interest in living with other students who have very similar interests to you, similar majors, things of that nature, and our honors college is also included in that. As we dive into finances and cost, the number at the bottom left that you see here, that's roughly $21,000, is an all-inclusive price. It includes tuition, fees, and room and board. So that is roughly the absolute max you're gonna pay for a full academic year. And nearly 80% of our students do receive some kind of financial aid or scholarship. So there's literally only a 20% chance that you would actually pay that full $21,000 out of pocket for an entire year. Similarly to that, we do offer our own scholarship directly coming from the Office of Admissions called the Highlander Distinction Program, and we base that off of your GPA, which I'll get into on the next slide. And really just to bring on home for you guys in terms of our affordability, Radford University has consistently been ranked within US News rankings, best colleges for your money for the past 5 years. Now, as we dive into the application process, you can use whatever application that you want. We have one on our website. You can also use Common App. We each made 2 applications for your convenience, so definitely use whichever one you would like. And then we are also going to need your official high school transcript. And we are completely test optional across the board this year. So what I normally like to tell my students is that if you took an exam, if you're proud of that score, go ahead and send it to us. But if you can't take a test, don't know if you can take a test, whatever other situation that may be, feel free to skip it. It is totally okay. And we really try to remove as many barriers for you guys so you can really have a seamless and stress-free application process. So we took out the application fee, so it's completely free to apply to Radford. And if you look at this graphic at the bottom left, that is the average range that our students tend to fall in, similarly to what my colleagues have been mentioning. But if you are within that range, great. If you're below it, that's totally fine. Just reach out to me directly. And please feel free to contact us using social media, as well as our additional in-person and virtual programming can be found at the visit link. And I hope to see you guys either on campus or virtually again soon.
Great, thank you. And next we will hear from the University of Missouri.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Jordan Moore. I'm the regional representative for the University of Missouri, or most commonly referred to as Mizzou. That is our nickname. Mizzou is located in, excuse me, my slide's not working. At the university, we do have a little over 30,000 students on campus. We are one of 6 institutions to house a medical school, law school, and veterinary school. So we do see a good number of doctorate and master's students on our campus, as well as our undergraduate population. We do house Tigers from every county in Missouri, all 50 states in the US, and more than 120 countries. So we do have lots of students who are choosing to join us here in Columbia, Missouri, or Como for short. That is where we are located. If you don't know anything about the state of Missouri, St. Louis and Kansas City are going to be our largest cities. They're going to be on either side of us, about an hour and a half from Columbia to both Kansas City and St. Louis, and we're about 30 minutes from Jefferson City, which is the state capital. There are a little under 117,000 people that live in Columbia, so we are definitely a college town. Lots of fun things to do. If you're interested in the outdoors, hiking, biking, swimming, tons of trails, lots of parks. We host lots of festivals, art festivals, and tons of really great restaurants. One of my favorite things about downtown Columbia is the fact that it's right across the street from our campus. So you don't have to go very far at all. Although we do have a large campus, it's all contained in one area. And our downtown is right across the street, which makes it really easy for our students to get around. We do have over 300 majors on campus, so lots of things to choose from to study. Some of our more popular programs are going to be our College of Engineering, our School of Nursing, our School of Health Professions, because we do have our own medical school, and our School of Journalism. We do house the world's oldest and first school of journalism, so that is very popular for our out-of-state students. You do not have to know what you want to major in when you come to Mizzou. We do also offer a Discover program for our undecided students. That's going to help point you in the direction of some classes to take, maybe some areas of interest, so you can figure out what it is you might be interested in studying. We do utilize something on campus here that we call the Missouri Method, which is essentially learning by doing. We want our students to be out there and active in their field of study. So whether that's through practicums or internships or extracurricular activities, we want you to be not only obtaining a degree from Mizzou, but also a resume, so that when you go out into the field, you already have professional experience and you're one step ahead. My favorite example of this is going to be our NBC News station. You can see there in the bottom corner. We are the only university to own and operate an NBC News station, completely run by our students and faculty within the journalism school. So if you really want hands-on experience, that is definitely going to give it to you. Some of the rates we like, our success rates we like to share with students, we are boasting a 90% retention rate this year, which we're very excited about for a university of our size. And we have a 92.7% successful career outcomes rate. So that is the percentage of students who are graduating from Mizzou and obtaining a job or going on to graduate school within 6 months of graduation. And we're very happy about that rate as well. Fun fact for you all, we are home of the original homecoming. So we invented homecoming way back in the day. If you enjoy celebrating homecoming at your high school, you'll definitely enjoy celebrating it here at Mizzou. It is a whole month-long celebration for us, which is really exciting. Tons of different events, canned food drive, blood drive, parades, all culminating in our homecoming football game, which was meant to be this weekend, but unfortunately got moved. However, we did have a huge win last weekend over LSU. So we're very excited about that. If you don't know, we are in the SEC and we have 20 Division I sports on campus. So sports are definitely a big part of our school spirit and a big part of our campus as well. For applying to the university, we do have two applications. We have our university-specific application as well as we are on the Common App. If you're applying to the university, we are going to need one of those applications, your official high school transcript, and if you're applying with test scores, then we'll need test scores sent directly from College Board or ACT. We did enact a test optional policy this year, so for our incoming class of 2021, you're welcome to apply as test optional. Instead of that test score, we will then be requiring a personal statement and a resume, and we'll be reviewing those applications holistically. We do have a number of automatic merit-based scholarships. We have scholarships for our students applying with test scores, which is a combination of test score and GPA. And then we do have automatic scholarships for our students applying test optional as well. So we have a lot of money to give out to our students, whether you're applying with a test score or not, and they are automatic, so you do not have to submit any separate application for those. Last thing I'll leave you with about money is Missouri is the easiest state to gain residency in. So we do allow our students to come to Mizzou, live on campus in a dorm their freshman year, and establish residency within the state of Missouri. What that means is if you complete these 5 steps within 12 consecutive months, you'll become a Missouri resident, and then you'll pay in-state tuition for the remainder of your time at Mizzou. It'll save you about $17,000 a year, which is a good chunk of change, so a lot of our out-of-state students will take advantage of that. My name is Jordan. I'm the regional admissions representative. I live here in Virginia, so please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. And go Tigers!
All right, and last up this hour is High Point University.
Hello, everybody. My name is Melissa Blakey, and I am the Virginia admissions representative from High Point University. So I'll be working with you throughout this process. High Point University is in North Carolina in the Triad. So that's Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and High Point. We have just under 5,000 undergraduate students. So we're on the smaller side, private liberal arts university. As for our majors and minors, we have 59 majors and 64 minors to choose from, with our most popular choice for incoming freshmen being undeclared, and then most popular chosen major being business, and then following with those 9 after that. Up next are state-of-the-art academic facilities. So these are all great facilities we have on campus, open to all students to use, not necessarily based off of your major. First up being that human biomechanics and physiology lab. Mainly our exercise science and physical therapy students will use that. However, we do treat our Division I athletes in there, and it is sponsored by Adidas. We have the Kane Conservatory, which is personally my favorite space on campus, with beautiful plants as well as a cafe inside. Our Culp Planetarium, which is the background of this photo, as well as our news and radio studios, and our BB&T Executive Boardroom, which is based off of and sponsored by BB&T. Up next is our extraordinary education. So we have a world-class education with a 15-to-1 student-faculty ratio, with an average class size of about 17, and 100% of our classes taught by a faculty member. So we do not have any student teaching of graduate students or TAs, as well as a unique program to High Point called Success Coaches. So when you come to High Point, you are assigned a success coach, and they're going to help you with the transition to college, as well as planning out your schedule in order to graduate on time and things like that, as well as our project discovery program. So since I said that we are mainly for a lot of students come in undeclared, our project discovery program is a 9-step project program to help you find your major. Up next are unique educational experiences. So at High Point, 25% of your time at High Point will be experiential or hands-on learning. And examples of that would be your access to industry leaders. So in the background, this picture is of Byron Pitts, who's an ABC Nightline News anchor, and he works with our students multiple times a year. He'll come down to High Point and work with our students, as well as Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple, and Mark Randolph, co-founder of Netflix, will all come down to campus to help our students out. We also offer undergraduate research as early as your freshman year, and that's across all majors, not just our science majors. Student teaching in local classrooms. We have a crime house on campus, as well as a stock trading room for our business students. As for our student life, we have 16 NCAA Division I teams in the Big South Conference, as well as 200 plus campus clubs and student organizations, fraternity and sorority life, which makes up about 30% of our student population, and club and intramural sports, as well as multiple religious groups across campus. As for our application, we are exclusive with the Common App. Our Common App is open and we have a few application plans. So first being early decision. So that's if you know you are 100% committed to High Point. High Point's your first choice and you want to go no matter what, you want to be an HPU Panther. And that one, the deadline is going to be November 1st and you find out if you're accepted on November 23rd. Next up is our early action plan. That is our non-binding early plan. So that's if you know you're interested in High Point, but you're not 100% sure about us. So there's no binding contract through that plan, and you will still find out if you're accepted before 2021. So in December of your senior year. And then lastly is our regular decision, and that one is rolling. So the deadline for priority admission is March 1st. However, we'll accept applications after that, and then we will just notify you as soon as we can. As for our averages, our average unweighted GPA on a 4.0 scale is about a 3.4. Our average SAT is about a 12.30, and our average ACT is about a 26. Now we do super score, but we are test optional, and we have been for the past 4 years. As for our scholarships, though, we just now have decided to start awarding scholarships based off of GPA and interview alone. And so we actually will look at you on a holistic basis in terms of your admissions application. And then for scholarships, you're automatically considered, and then we will interview to increase your scholarship after that initial scholarship awarding. And that all happens in February timeframe. As for the next steps, if you know you're interested in High Point, we are currently having on-campus tours, single-family campus tours, as well as virtual tours if you can't make it down to campus, or if you don't necessarily feel comfortable doing that right now. We also have a virtual information session every day at 3 p.m., as well as a great program called Panther Perspective. So that's every Tuesday at 4 p.m. There will be different information about different programs across campus, as well as today, our Panther Perspective was on financial aid. And then soon we'll be having, on this Thursday, actually at 4:30, we will be having a student panel. So you can ask them all of the questions that you may have about what it's like to be a student at High Point. We also offer admissions interviews, so if you're interested in that, you can reach out to me, and my email is on the next slide, and then I'll give you information on signing up for that. And then that last one is contact your counselor. So I'm your counselor. Like I said, I'll be working with you throughout this process. Here's all of my information, including my Instagram, which I highly suggest you follow, so that way you can see student takeovers and kind of, again, see what it's like to be a student a day in the life at High Point. So thank you all.
All right, thank you to all of our presenters. So now we have a bit of an opportunity to focus on the Q&A for the last 10 minutes or so. So if you do have questions, you can pop them right in that Q&A box on your screen. And to kick things off, I would love to just have all of the participants from this hour, all of the panelists, join us with their videos on in this grid. And we'll just go in presentation order. And if you would just tell us kind of one thing that either is special about your institution, or a special, unique tradition, or even something that you wanted to mention during your presentation. We'll just go in presentation order, so that'll be going back and starting with Coastal Carolina.
Thank you. So something interesting about Coastal, besides being so close to Myrtle Beach, we have the #1 program for marine science in the southeastern region of the United States. Students can get a bachelor's, a master's, and a doctorate in marine science. We also have our own fleet of vessels, and we have our own island. So students have the opportunity to really be hands-on, conducting their own field work, maybe out to sea on one of our vessels, tagging sharks, dolphins, sea turtles in our area, just to name a few. That is a class you're taking your sophomore year. I think it's super cool that our students get to go out on one of our boats and just hold a shark. I could never do that, but that seems to be a really big interest for a lot of people who do come to Coastal. But that just helps us stand out above the rest of everybody else in regards to marine science, because we truly do focus on that standpoint and being hands-on and really focusing on a career path for marine wildlife, whether it's marine biology, marine chemistry, marine ecology, or oceanography.
Okay, I'm going to tag team off of Jordan. I hope she doesn't mind that. So we are the only other school in the country that has an on-campus commercial television station. Ours is not NBC, ours is the CW, but our students also do intern and work on our TV station. They do film the local news and several other sports related and local oriented shows on our campus as well.
I think one of my favorite things being an alum and also being an admissions counselor is the Highlander Festival. So we have a lot of Scottish heritage here down at Radford. Our mascot is the Highlander, which is a Scottish warrior. And basically during homecoming weekend, which is actually this coming weekend virtually, they have the whole shebang of anything Scottish you could think of. Like there's a food festival. There was a like the log hurling like over the thing and everything. There's sheep herding. There's a bagpipe like brigade just hanging out, and it's all on campus. It actually used to be off campus until they brought it back recently. So I think that's one of the coolest things that we offer. And there's also bagpipes at every single event on campus, especially at our admitted student events as well as graduation.
So one of my favorite traditions besides homecoming is going to be our Tiger Walk. And this starts as a freshman the day before you start classes. All of our freshmen line up on our quad facing towards our main building, Jesse Hall, led by the band, and they all run towards Jesse Hall, signifying their entrance into Mizzou. And we have an ice cream party with tiger striped ice cream, which is the ice cream we make on campus. It's vanilla ice cream with a Godiva chocolate ribbon, which is delicious. And then before you graduate, you line up on the other side of the quad, run away from Jesse Hall, and we have an adult beverage waiting for you on that side. So Tiger Walk is definitely one of my favorite traditions.
So at High Point, I would say we have a few traditions, one of them being every freshman when they come for convocation actually physically signs our honor code, and then we display it on campus for that year. As well as when you come for convocation, you walk across a seal on the ground, and then it's bad luck if you walk across it again before you graduate. So then at graduation commencement ceremony, you'll walk across that again. And then another one is that we have a lot of fountains all across campus. We have about, I think it's 23 fountains on campus. And so another tradition is jumping into one of the fountains. I don't know if there's a student who's jumped in all 23, but definitely jumping in at least one of them is another tradition.
That's great. That's always my favorite part, is hearing all of the different traditions from all of the schools. So since we were a school down, we will take a few minutes to keep an eye on the Q&A, but probably wrap up a few minutes early. So we'll just look for those questions and encourage our participants to ask them via the Q&A box, and we'll take it away. We'll spend another couple of minutes and look for those questions.
I'm going to chime in very quickly, but I also wanted to state that Coastal Carolina University is doing in-person visits now. So if you wanted to come to campus and do a tour, we have tours Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. You do have to register in advance because we are limited to how many families are in each group. But if you are able to come down to Myrtle Beach for a weekend getaway, definitely stop on by. We are doing the tours for you.
All right, so with that, we'll wrap up just a couple minutes early. So I want to say thank you to all of the presenters and all of the students for joining us today. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. And this is just one of many sessions again, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at strivescan.com/Virginia. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session as well as all the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Virginia. And we do have one more set of 6x6 colleges starting in about 20 minutes, so I'm sure I'll see a few of you there as well. And I want to say thank you again to our presenters. Great job. And I will see some of you in just a couple of minutes. And to the rest of you, have a great evening.